Alright guys, so today I'm going to break down a full objection handling part of a call that I closed for 4.8 on the call, and then he paid the remaining 4.8 the day after. Okay, I'm going to walk you through the entire call. So this is post price, and we're literally just going to go through the objection handling phase and kind of run it next to the Retie process and logistical process, which I preach and sort of teach. And I'm just going to show you guys exactly how I use this entire process to actually close this deal. He gives me money objection, partner objection, a little bit of fear, and I just kind of bypass all of it by going with outcome and conviction, but just following a very succinct process. So yeah, I'm just going to dive in and kind of go through everything.
So to work with us for a full year, for 12 months, okay, it's just £9,600 and you get access to everything we've covered. So offer order, offer refinement, all 15 systems, and then all of the support around it, so we can make sure that you're never kind of going through the ups and downs within the business in those months moving forward, and we can get you to 2 mil. So that's the costing structure and how everything works.
Yeah. Well, one-off 9,600, okay?
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and how do you feel about the 9.6?
If it works, then I will pay that in a heartbeat, right?
Cool. So first point there, delivered price with a few sort of features or like pillars that we run in the pitch to recap, and then outcome at the end. Let it sit for a couple of seconds and then ask a feel-based question. Not what do you think about that? Does this work for you? Just a feel-based question to get a little bit of emotion. And what do we already get from him? A little bit of skepticism, like if it will work, but I would pay that in a heartbeat. So already I've got heaps of information about how he feels about the process and kind of how he's feeling about maybe paying for this right now.
So the job now is convincing me that this is definitely going to work. Yeah.
Do you think it's like, is it convincing you on us, or convincing me that you would actually do it? Or convincing you that you would actually do it? Because I know how stuff works. Like, I don't have to...
It reminds me kind of the gym.
So he just said, now it's your job to convince me if your thing actually works. I'm never going to convince someone post-price that this is what they're looking for. That's what the pitch is for. Throughout the call, he'd given me a lot of self-doubt, and he kind of gives me a lot of self-doubt if he's actually going to do it. And he's like, now it's time to convince me. I was like, mate, I don't need you to convince you. You need to convince me you're actually going to do it. And you can already see he moves in his chair, he laughs a little bit. It just completely shifts the entire frame of the conversation.
Interesting, which I was reading about with Alex Hormozy, where he was selling the system to...
Yeah, this is literally, we are gym launch for agency. Exactly correct. And how much money did gym launch make for its clients? A lot.
I don't know, actually.
A lot.
Yeah. Right. Cool. Okay.
So he's brought up Alex Hormozy. That's a good sign in my opinion, because he's kind of aware of the world, and I'm going to use this later in the call to actually close him. But again, I'm just controlling the call. Maybe I'm being a little bit on the front foot. Full transparency, I'm being a little aggressive on this call to just get the deal done because I knew I could. But I'm just controlling. I'm leading. I'm not justifying. It's just like, yeah, we're just like him, and he made a lot of money for people. We're going to do that for you.
So now that you do have all the information, like in terms of the process and the structure and maybe that comparison, do you actually feel like this is the answer for you to get to 2 mil? Because that is the most important thing.
So what have I done now? Straight into the Retie, controlling the conversation. Okay, so if you've watched my previous videos, which I really hope you do, okay, after price, we kind of entertain a little bit of concern and we go straight to the Retie. Okay, so I've kind of chunked these questions into one. If you were doing this for the first time, I'd definitely break them up, but I'm just looking for certainty. Does he feel like this will get him to the goal?
Maybe, yeah. It does rely on us coming up with these good offers, I suppose, and trying to figure out how we... The thing when I was thinking about gym launch is that, okay, it's very consumer sort of targeted, isn't it? It's like that volume. And so when we've got this sort of more, it's not quite enterprise, although we love working with enterprise customers. It sometimes feels like a more drawn out sales process. But if it's like, hey, if you know you're the CTO of some big company and you're doing a mobile app launching on YouTube, and you see the right video about mobile apps and the right process, but we'll find out the right process. I think something like that might work.
But I mean, I can just flip that back around for you. Like, you're an enterprise doing 1.4 million a year, and we got you on this call. So the exact strategy.
So I did the Retie, okay, and the Retie did exactly what it's supposed to do. It got uncertainty out of him, right? So these questions are designed to hopefully figure out that they're 100% sure that this thing is going to work for them, what we've just presented them. But it did the exact right thing as well, is it showed that he has some uncertainty. Now, again, I don't entertain it. I just flip it back on him. It's like, oh, I'm not sure if I can get enterprise people, blah, blah. This guy's doing like 2 million a year, his company. And I was like, I got you on this call. Do you think it would work? It's just, you just flip it around. Never entertain it. Never justify. Like, you don't need to. If you have a good product, you don't need to justify. And if you justify, you start chasing and they're going to smell it. So I just like very confidently flip it back around. I got you on this call. Just reframe the way he's thinking.
Strategy that we would get someone in power at a different business that needs your service, we're going to give you exactly the same.
Yeah. Okay.
So do you feel like
it's not like I would say, like, if I was on YouTube seeing ads doing things that my company does similar, I would kind of believe, but I don't. I see quite a lot of ads on like, hey, get more leads, but I don't see, how do you turn that into
yeah, because
we want to build software.
Yeah, because you're seeing ads because you're probably Googling emoji and how to get leads. Whereas someone who needs to build a software is probably Googling, how do I build a software? And then your ads will come up. And then they'd also they'd get your email from you. We target it through, so they're seeing your company multiple times. And then they're like, oh yeah, let's book a call. These guys could help me.
Yeah.
Honestly though, do you reckon this could get you to your goal? Like, genuinely?
Again, I've like hit him with an answer / statement with lots of confidence because it is true, right? That's how ads work. They look for keywords, and he'd been searching leads. He showed up on our thing. Companies looking for web development, software development, same principles apply, right? But then, as we can see right here, I've brought it straight back to the Retie. Do you genuinely believe this can get you to your result?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds great. I tend to be a bit skeptical. Like, I'm generally skeptical by nature.
Okay, he's a bit skeptical, but it sounds great. Okay, I'm getting him to kind of buy in a little bit more. I haven't talked about money, about closing, nothing. I'm just trying to get the doubt out of his mind before I go there.
It sounds amazing. Proof is in, right? How good's the content? How good's those process? I'm a process guy because I love software, so it's like, okay, yeah, exciting. I do think, we definitely can do more. So it's not going to hurt business, right? And will we make back the 9K by getting some? I mean, is YouTube one of the main things that in there? Is that one of the platforms you got?
Honestly, the main stuff that we're going to focus on is the email systems, the direct messaging systems. Like, our program is underpinned on. I like to think of it like this: if you think of a fire pit, the wood needs to be outbound. The fire starter needs to be the offer, and ads are gasoline. So if you've got a small fire with bad outbound, you pour a lot of gasoline on it, it's just going to put out the fire. But if you've got a good email system, direct messaging system, and there's a big fire and you pour some gasoline, it's only going to make it bigger. Like, honestly, this is my calendar of all 10 of them.
Okay, cool. So he was starting to take the conversation, like, I got a bit more buy-in from him, but then he starts taking the conversation to a negative place, so I jumped in. I'm like, I don't want to go there right now. I want to give you more confidence. I'm just trying to give him confidence because he's kind of skeptical. And bear in mind, this is a guy that saw our ad maybe once or twice. He knew nothing about Charlie, no idea who we are, and this is the one call close. And you'll see at the end, he says, wow, we should be doing this, right? So I identified he was taking it to a negative place. I jumped in, I sold with more confidence and conviction, and now I'm showing him our calendar just to build that certainty. So like, as you can see, this is where I don't have any pitch deck up or anything like that. But sharing a screen is powerful, but in the right time.
Like, and we have been doing this for 2 years. Imagine how much less stress you would have in your life if you knew that was coming every single month.
So in discovery, he would have told me that he's dealing with a lot of stress about where the next lead is coming from, etc., etc. Always tying it back to what he told me. Always tying it back to the desired outcome. How much better would you feel knowing that you had consistency like what we do?
It'd be great.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah. The challenge for us is then scaling, because obviously every time you make a sale, you have to do quite a lot of work. But part of that is like, as long as we're having those meetings, we can hopefully cherry pick the customers. To a certain degree, we can work on the qualifying once we've got the volume. I think it's like get the volume and then work on optimizing. I think makes more sense than if we get like 30 leads a month, we might just get one lucky month and then think we've done something right, or we might get one unlucky month where we've done amazing stuff, but it just hasn't had the, like until you've got like 100, you don't have enough data to correct the errors. So that's kind of what I've been thinking recently. So yeah, I don't think it will hurt doing any of this stuff.
He said that twice. I don't think it will hurt, right? So he's trying to justify it to himself right now, which is what we want. This is what this is doing. Again, notice how I've spent nearly 7 minutes just in this part of the call, and I still haven't got to the value question yet. I'm just trying to get rid of his uncertainty before I try and get some money off him.
The 9k back, we've got to make one sale potentially. So
I mean,
plus profit. Maybe we need to make like 2 or 3, but yeah, you should be able to.
So we also so you mentioned you're skeptical.
So he mentioned skeptical. I go guarantee here. Look, no one's perfect, right? It worked on this call. I'm actually not the biggest proponent of the guarantee stuff because it does invite contract questions, right? And I want to stay authentic. Like, I'm not perfect, but I just did what I needed to do to get the deal done. On this call specifically, just based on the things he said earlier, he brought up Pomozi, right? So he's thinking $1 million offers. We find this out a little bit later, but he mentioned Pomozi a couple of times. He's skeptical. We've got a really strong guarantee. Okay, I didn't pitch the guarantee during the pitch. I saved it for this moment. So I'm just going to slap it in his face. It's a no-brainer, and watch how well it works.
Let me even make it more of a no-brainer for you. And this is Pomozi through and through. We have a 20 paying client guarantee. So we will guarantee 20 paying clients on your 10k sale minimum in 6 months. Okay. So 20 6 months.
Let's see how well that worked because I just kept it for the right time. Just trying to raise his certainty. That's all I'm trying to do. Before we talk money, I'm just trying to raise his certainty as we go.
And all of that is underpinned on outbound. That has no inclusion of ad spend as well. Like I mentioned, it's gasoline, not the foundation.
So you're saying 20 paid or your money back?
Yeah, plus $5,000. It's a complete no-brainer.
What do you mean 5,000? What? So 4,600 back?
No, we'll give you 9,600 plus 5k. You're going to make a return on investment.
I love it. That is.
See, it worked really well in this call, right? And again, I've done a lot of calls, right? So I just kind of got a feeling that it would work with this guy, and it did. Obviously, I know I've done it on calls where I've probably lost the deal because I've used a guarantee and then they brought up the contract and then there's a whole thing. But on this call, I just felt really confident. I'm carrying myself with a lot of confidence. I knew I could get this deal closed. I knew he was going to have the money, and I just wasn't budging until I brought his certainty up.
Brilliant. So you're saying if you use us, it doesn't work. You get your money back plus £5,000 because we're so confident.
Like literally exactly.
Okay. Brilliant. Yeah, that's an offer you can't refuse right there, right?
Mm-hmm. And honestly, we will deliver on that offer. We wouldn't be $1 million company if we were handing out refunds to every single person that we sign in 6 months.
No. You guys are at $1 million a month.
Mm-hmm.
So 12 million.
We're actually tracking for 1.2 this month, so we're a bit above it.
Wow, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to flip my business model, and I need to be selling our techniques of how you go about building mobile apps and sell that.
So that's a whole different conversation that we can have. If you're being even remotely serious about that, we actually have a module that can help you do that. But let's just solve this problem first, and if you, in some capacity, if you want to do that, we'll help you do that.
Okay, so he's brought up another thing, right? Which is fine. Tell him that we have something that can help him do that, but I'm just bringing it back to the important conversation. I don't want to get sidetracked with that bullshit over here. I want to bring it back to the problem you're facing right now. Let's solve the lead flow problem that you need solving so you can get to your goal.
People need that roadmap, but the very first thing that we need to do is solve the lead flow problem right now. And we can do that.
Okay. It's just interesting. One of the things we do, obviously, we helped one company build them. We just built them some simple stuff, but then they went on to make millions. And it's we're quite good at building software. And obviously, sometimes we can go out and create whole businesses from that, right? Mm-hmm. So if I was to say to you, I'm going to copy your offer. 10 grand will give you everything. You can go and do it yourself. Here's how AI can do a lot of coding. So blah blah blah. This is how you go about it. That could be a good offer. All right, I'll put that idea aside.
So let's just bring it back to the lead flow problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Bringing it back. Control the conversation. Don't let them get on a tangent.
You reckon this fix your problem? That's all up.
do you reckon this is going to fix your problem? I'm just still not fucking convinced. Like, I'm still not convinced that he thinks this is going to help him. So I'm just sticking. I've stuck in here for 10 minutes now. No need to rush, you know. I think this call went for a total, it says an hour 29. That was just when I was editing it. I don't know why it does that. But I think this call total was about an hour and 20 minutes, which is a little bit long, but, you know, I'm sticking on the call if I have to. He didn't know much about us, so I had to give him more confidence. But I'm just not moving until I've got that certainty.
I don't know. If you believe that this will fix your problem.
Yeah, I think it will, yeah. From what you told me.
Is there anything specifically that stands out to you?
See, I'm still not convinced. You know, this question isn't even in here, but there's another version of this Retie. This is a more simplified version. It's basically why. Is there anything specifically that you like? Trying to get him to sell it back to me and watch how well this works.
It would help.
I don't think so. I guess it's just like, you know, what was the funnel that got me to you guys? So like you're saying embed the direct now or something, is that right? Embed that first. I guess the reason I got in touch with you because you're always on my YouTube, and after a while I just caved in, just went for it, you know. And I think I've actually landed up on the calendar page a few times before, so I bothered to not. So I was like, okay, like how do we implement that strategy? Not like quite. I don't think we can be quite as bold with our offer because we're selling, especially if we're selling these larger things. It's kind of like selling into reasonably large companies that like. There probably is a way to do that. Right?
So he's just trying to justify it now. Like, honestly, he's not that convinced. Like, you guys can probably hear it. You know, he's really, but he's trying to justify it. He wants to believe that the outcome of, I think it was like 2.5 million was his goal. He wants to believe that he can get there using us. And and he did really well, by the way, in the program. He actually did. I have so much conviction behind the fact that it's going to work for him. He's trying to now justify it to me and himself that it will.
But I genuinely
probably more about like, oh, if you need to, as a company, you need to be, now's the time. If you have software, if you have information, you need to be building AI into your solutions in order to dominate in the future. You know, get in touch, book a call, we can talk to you about software development. Something like that might work.
And we'll help you build that offer with the right messaging so it is enticing for people to go on the call. Like, you can make this stuff sexy, for lack of a better term, honestly, because companies do it and they're making a lot of money off it. So, like, would you say that getting you to 2 million.
So now I'm like, okay, it's been a little bit long here. I feel like I'm getting a little bit more buy-in. So now I'm going to the value question, right here. Okay, so I'm just following the process all the time.
Solving this problem, would that be worth the 9.6K to you right now?
100%. So let me just write down what you said about the offer. So you said, how many leads did you say? What was that guarantee thing? Because I'm just convinced everyone in the business.
20 paying clients in 6 months or a full refund plus 5K. And that would be a minimum of 10K per client because that's your lowest price.
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
So would you say
this is
something I want to do? Or I mean, I'm not like asking if you want to do this, but like, is this something that you would like to do, you know?
Yeah, 100%. If we can fix our lead funnel, that'll be amazing.
Okay. Right, so I took a little bit of emphasis off that question because I just wasn't 100% convinced that he wanted to do it. So I was like, you know, not saying to do it now, but like, would this be something that you were interested in? A bit more of a softer vibe. And he's like, yeah, 100%. So now I'm like, okay, the retie worked. It got him retied in a bit more. It got him to justify to himself that this might be the right thing to do. So now what we do is we go to money. Okay, now it's time to, all right, can we actually close this deal?
Cool. And just so I can kind of get a full picture, like, is the 9.6K doable? Like, is that actually doable at the moment?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. And like,
I did in a couple of weeks. We're owed about 300,000 at the moment by clients, so I need to chase that, but that's going to drop soon.
Cool. And like,
yeah, still got.
You know, you just putting in, 2 days a week plus your sales guys putting in some time, would that be worth the outcome of this process?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what would you estimate?
Okay, so I've ticked off money. The money's doable. I've ticked off time. I'm just like literally going through the boxes, guys. This is just, I don't know why no one's teaching this stuff, but it's just process. Because he actually gave a timing objection before I delivered price. Like, the problem is we're probably not going to have enough time to do it. You just reframe it. Is it worth putting 2 hours a day to get to your outcome? Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, it's a no fucking brainer. Like, everyone would say yes to that because it's true. So I'm just methodically ticking off the boxes.
And commitment to be, do you think?
We ask for a minimum of 2 hours per week, 2 hours per day for the first sort of 4 to 8 weeks, just to get everything absolutely dialed in. But you can split that up across all 3 of you, or 2 of you, or whatever that looks like.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome.
So that's 2 hours per day.
But you don't have to do it. You can like chunk it into days, you know.
I mean, part of me into 4 to 8 weeks, yeah. Part of me kind of wants to do it, or I just yeah, we can chunk that.
We're getting closer. Part of me wants to kind of do it. We're just getting closer and closer and closer.
Days of like 2 days to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the leads just suddenly start, that's the like that's the evil operator from the shadows for me. Like, you know, just like the lead themselves just why should me? That would be fun. But yeah, they probably need to do that.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, sounds like everything's kind of lining up. Like, how would you like to proceed?
Cool. So now, I didn't tick off partner because you didn't mention anything about partner, but it's about to come up. Okay. But I just said, how would you like to proceed? I didn't say, okay, cool, you ready to make the payment, whatever. I want him to tell me, because I really remember this call. Like, I wasn't super convinced he was going to buy. I knew I had to kind of just ease him into the idea. How do you want to proceed? Let's see what he says.
Well, I guess you need to send me some stuff, right? And then there'll be an invoice or something, and I'll pay that, and then get started from there. That's how it works.
In terms of onboarding? Now we can get you onboarded on the call today. That's how we do it. We do our onboarding on the call.
Do you make the sale on this call?
Yeah, if everything lines up, if it's something that you want to do, like, why wait?
Yeah, no, good point.
Okay, so not like, yeah, you have to pay right now, but it's like, yeah, we do the onboarding on the call. You know, if it's something that you want to do, why wait? Just like a very soft framing of the obvious thing. It's like, you know, I'm not trying to like get him to pull out his card or anything. I'm just like letting him come to the decision naturally.
Hang on. So it sounds really good, but I've done this many times and just pulled stuff, and it's always been fine. But it does upset my co-founder, which I just need to say, by the way, in finance, and then tell them finance again. So I give you a verbal that sounds great. Let's go ahead and do it. But I need to chat to them, and then.
Why don't you get him on the call?
Okay, so
for me to actually run through.
Okay, so he's given me a partner objection, right? So now I can't tick off the partner box. I'm like, okay, fuck, I need to deal with this. So I'm like, why don't we get him on the call? Like, I always like to just see if they can get him on the call, just to, you know, shortcut everything, and then I just see what they say, basically.
I mean, I've got some... Yeah, you can go grab them, that's fine.
They're not here right now, thanks. Mark's not here in the office today.
Mm-hmm.
But,
okay.
But we can book another call. Or, like, if you send me the details, I might sort it out later today.
If I let him get off this call, full transparency, he never would have bought. Like, never, ever, ever, ever would have bought. Like, that's just a fact.
Okay, cool. But he's not around till later.
No, I appreciate that. And just, you know, it sounds like this is definitely something that you want to do, though.
Yep.
Retie them in again. Always retie them in again.
I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with
the offer.
The offer, really.
And if Mark was here, what do you think he would say?
I think if you said 20 paying clients in 6 months or full refund plus 5k, which actually, to be honest, even if you said just plus full refund, that's still okay.
Okay, so I'm retying in Mark now. Okay, so same process. What do you think Mark would say?
Then we would do it. I'm sure. So.
Cool. And so you think on the face of it, this is something that he'd be wanting to do as well? Because I mean,
have you ever had anyone do that and have to give them 5k?
Yeah, out of 2,000 clients, we've had to give out 6 refunds. So we
that's true.
Done it, like, for sure. But our success rate's extremely high at this point. We've been doing this for a long time, you know. Like, we are very, very good at what we do.
Yeah. I guess it's our kind of business. So the agencies are small. That's the only way it could go wrong. But like, I'm happy to take that risk based on you saying that. And I wouldn't hold you to the 5k anyway. Just say, oh, full refund. You know,
no, we'd probably give you the 5k. But like, honestly, like, agency software, we have helped plenty of software, web development, like all these kind of, like, you know, we've even helped a guy who, you know, installs printers at large scale into corporations, and he has to speak with like the big boss, and we've helped him get in front of those people. Like, I know that this will work.
again, I'm not really entertaining his his objections. I'm just like hitting him with certainty because I know that it's true, and everything I just said, it's a fact that we've helped people get like big CEOs, Fortune 500s, like all that sort of stuff. So I'm just like super confident, and I'm not entertaining it. I'm just hitting him with, this is going to work for you. Like, you know, you want to follow a process, but at the end of the day, conviction really does sell. Like, you don't want to be a salesy kind of guy. I don't feel like I'm coming off that salesy, right? I'm just very certain that it's going to work.
Got no doubt. Because like we can, like you mentioned when you speak to Mark, you kind of just want to let him know that this is what you're doing, this is what you're investing. Is that kind of how that conversation is going to go, or is it like you want to?
Yeah.
You need the permission from him, or you just want to let him know?
I want to let him know before I make the decision, so he feels included. And because he's trying at the moment, I'm putting a lot of pressure on him to be Mr. Sales Director, and technically this me go behind his back and doing stuff, right? But I'm pretty sure he'll be on board.
But what if he did?
I mean,
what if he said no? Then
he did say it, then I say, oh, well, I'll do it. Right, but at least he knows now. Just whacked him.
Okay, so this guy's just giving me partner is a full smoke screen right now. Okay, so I can cross this off. I just followed the process. I retied in the partner. Mark reckons Mark would think it's an amazing offer. Cool. I could have asked some other questions, but I was just kind of gunning for it here. Permission versus FYI. He told me it was basically an FYI. He doesn't need the permission to spend the money. And what would you do if Mark said no? I would do it anyway. Guys, this is a fully closable deal now because I've ticked off all the boxes. So basically, we're just in fear land, and you'll see how we actually just get there now.
Exactly.
But he's not going to say no, right? Like ultimately, it kind of sounds like this is your.
Yeah. Ultimately, the other person. So not to give you too much drama, but this is the first week of a new finance guy, and he's going through the finances.
It's all bullshit.
Just check that it's not going to affect our VAT bill. It comes out. But that's all. But it's only.
It sounds like you want to do this, and it sounds like there's not really anything stopping you to doing this. And I just know that like we get you in, we get you onboarded. We'll bring in Mark. We can have a call, all three of us, to officially get the ball rolling, whether that's later today or tomorrow, so he can feel included. And we'll just get the appointments. Like we'll just solve this problem so fast.
Pretty nonchalant. Like this is what's going to happen, man. Like there's not too much to think about, you know.
Yeah.
Should we get you going or what?
Okay, so now I've crossed off all the boxes. Now I can start closing. Like, it's that simple, guys. I got some certainty. I ticked off money, ticked off time, ticked off partner. Now I can start closing. Like, now I am in fear, so I can actually start closing this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to get onboarded now?
Yeah, what do we have to do? What do we have to do to get onboarded?
Yeah, it's really simple. Basically, I'll just send you over a Stripe link, fill out details, get that process, send you over a link to create your account. We'll jump on a call later with Mark, get him to do the same thing, and that's it.
Super confident, nonchalant. It's not a big deal. I'm not getting nervous or excited. I've done this a million times. I do it all day, every day. Now, obviously, I did do this all day, every day, so it wasn't really a big deal, right? But just, you want to carry that kind of energy.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah. I don't expect to make up on profit. I'm raising objections now. Let me think about it. I wanted to.
So, perfect. He's raising a think about it objection. Like, as you can see, guys, we just follow the process step by step. I don't know why and like, now we're in fear, right? We just chunk down on everything, follow the process. Now I'm in fear, so now I just know I had to handle fear. That's it. I've ticked everything off. Like, there's nothing else to do now. Just close the deal.
But let me have a cup of tea and just mull over everything you said.
So can I pull a Hormozy quote on you? Because you brought him up. Because look, honestly, Stephen, like I can see you want to do this. Like, there's no doubt in your mind that you want to do it. It's just a little bit of hesitation. And
so again, I'm using Hormozy. Like, he brought up Hormozy, so I'm going to use that. It's just a little bit of hesitation. I'm just calling out the doubt. Like, it's so simple.
You know, Hormozy's
not really from this, just from my team in terms of doing stuff. So like after this, I would call Mark and give him a chat.
Why don't you just give him a call now? Mute yourself, give him a call.
Because he'll think I've been influenced by you.
Have you?
And it's some scam. Well, yeah, of course. Not in a bad way. I think it's
no, of course.
But yeah. But I'd be like,
bit of humor, like keep it light. It's not that serious, you know. It's just we're just closing deals.
I also want to. Yeah, I need to work my magic a little bit. You know, I think we can do it. The other thing is to make this month's profit bad, so I might try. And I think we can probably show that we've paid it. We can last like we've paid like say $3,000 over the next 3 months or something like that. I think that's just how we came for it. I think we can put that in our account system actually. You know, because no, but then my profit score wasn't good. So I've answered that objection.
He's answering his own objections. Like it just works. This process.
And then I will make a call to Lynn, who retired. She's doing our finance, and who's new starter to just help her that I think spendings.
Because what are they just like what the finance guy, like accountant, basically?
It works, yeah, full time for us doing the books and whatnot.
And do they just do the books, or do they like advise you on decisions? Because like
no, it's not decisions. The only thing it might be is like, we've got to pay the tax bill, so we're going to be a bit short, so we have to go. You know, when I don't want to be short if we've got a massive VAT bill. So
I just want to the VAT
profit loss. Yeah.
So the VAT is included in the 9.6 as well. So that's all included as well.
More. Oh really? So it's not. So that's 9,600 with VAT.
With VAT, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so it's like $8,000 actually.
Yeah.
Yes, it's annoying VAT to do, but yeah. So I think a bit less VAT, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Much makes it sweeter.
Come on, let's do it, Stephen. I feel good about it.
Just like, you know, let's do it. Like, let's stop talking about the details. You want to do it.
Come on. How much better are you going to feel if you get off this call and you speak to them up and say, look, I found the strategy for us. We're going to fill your...
They'll tell me off. They'll say, what is this you signed up? I signed up to something else last month. They'll have a little issue for it. They'll say, you're supposed to be making sales director and like giving me confidence to do it, and you've gone and jumped the gun and, you know, yeah.
But whose business is it at the end of the day? Come on.
Yeah, my business, yeah.
Exactly.
This is the line that closed the deal. Like, take some fucking responsibility, you know, stop being a pussy. Whose business is it? Now, obviously, you can tell the way I said it on the call compared to how I feel about what he's actually saying. It's very different, right? Like, come on, mate. Whose business is it? You know? And look, this is my personality, so it works for me. Okay? Like, find your own voice, obviously. But I really think that this was the line. I just called him out on trying to pass off responsibility for his business, his baby. Like, make a decision. Take some action. But I said it in a way that was like, come on, mate. Like, what are we talking about?
Like, if you tell them that this is what they're doing, they will do it. Like, it's their job.
Mm-hmm.
If you're already in the world of listening to Hamosi and thinking about this stuff, you have already taken the first step. Because this is where all of this stuff comes from. Like, if you think he's a good, you know, person to get information from, like, all of this has come from him, and we double down and improve those strategies. Yeah, man, he is like, if he was sitting on this call with us, he would have told you to pay 35 minutes ago. I've listened to everything of his. Like, I just know that for a fact. It all starts with marketing and lead generation. That's why we're so successful, because every business struggles with that.
Yeah, I read the $100 million leads, the book he's done. I thought that's great. So.
Exactly.
Okay. Let me just let me call in then. I'll tell him about.
Just give him a little bit of space. I'm slowing down. Honestly, though, like sometimes I do get. I'm guilty of kind of rushing a little bit. Like, you know, again, no one's perfect, right? I want to be super honest and open with that. Like, I do kind of sometimes jump in a little bit quick. I think I'm doing a decent job of kind of slowing down on this call. But right when I hit him with my kind of like final line to deal with his fear, it's like, bring back Hamosi. What would he do? What would you do if you were speaking to him? I just let it sit. And now he's calling his accountant. All right, so I might skip a little bit forward.
Just on a call.
So good, right? This is why we do it. So fun. So I'm just being patient, letting him do what he needs to do, not letting him get off the phone, Controlling the conversation.
So we've had a new finance guy, but we haven't been transferring cash into our VAT accounts. We've got this big VAT bill, it's about 80k. Meanwhile.
Okay, so now he's come back with a logistical money objection. Okay, so he's giving me logistical money. But what is the benefit of pitching the full price up front, even though you have payment plans? Is now I'm going to give him a better option.
Whilst we've made 17k profit this month, we haven't received that yet, so I'm waiting on that payment from our customer. So it's actually my idea is just said, makes sense to hold up till next week so we know what position we're in. Made a lot of money on paper, but not in practice.
No, that's funny. Because look,
if you can leave that with me, I'm going to chase our customer to actually pay their bills, because we can max on that, and I'm motivated to do that because I want to do this.
No, because look, honestly, what we can do to get you in and get the ball rolling, we can just split it in half. So we can just process half, you can get more clarity on the rest, and we can process the rest once you have the clarity on that. Like, honestly, like, I'm not here to...
I can do that, yeah. I'm sure I can do that.
Alright, cool. Let's get that done then.
Boom. Done. So I kept that in my back pocket, right? I didn't freak out and try and use payment plans to deal with his fear, right? Like, I stayed strong on the pay in full. Like, if he has the money for a PIF, I'm going to fucking try and get that PIF. But then he hit me with a logistical objection. We're getting towards the end of the call. I just want to get this deal done. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to lower the barrier to entry, get him in for half. He paid the other half like a week later or something like that. And did really well. You know, it's as simple as that, guys. Like, really.
And that'll just give you a bit more confidence to know the rest of the cash is coming in. Worst case scenario, we have to make it into like a payment plan, but it's going to be totally fine. Cool?
Well, we should have we're waiting on 300k from one customer, but and a bunch from another, but I need to chase that. They're really good payers, but they're slow. They take like 60 days, and I need to chase them. I've been a bit lazy doing it, so.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. We can just...
Then, but I'll do 4 now, yeah.
Cool.
Done deal. Right, I just want to play one last little bit here.
You'd say done up, hadn't you? Yeah.
Pardon?
You had that one saved in the back pocket.
No, honestly, that's typically not how we do it, but I just think, like, if that's the only reason that would be some hesitation, I can just make it work for you. That's totally fine.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Cool. So yeah, I've just dropped the link in the chat for you. That's just the first 4.8, and then when the rest of the money comes in, we'll just process when you're ready.
I mean, is this how we need to be doing it on our calls?
Yeah, and we'll show you how to do this.
Okay, so if anyone ever says to you, like, business owners don't like being sold to, if you do it the right way, they will say stuff like that. You know, this is he'd been in business 10 years, he's doing $2 million, he's an older guy, knew nothing about Charlie, wasn't really aware of the course world so much, but we had what he needed to solve his problem. This is how we need to be doing it. So guys, like, honestly, like, we can so clearly see how this process works. Retie them in, get certainty, make sure they see the value, tick off the 3 logistical objections, okay? Then we deal with the fear, we sell with conviction, give them confidence, reframe them around things. Dude, I didn't even go through all this stuff because I just didn't need to. Like, I knew he wanted to do this. If it's a smoke screen, just push through, keep it on track, and then if you need to bring down the payment to make it work for them, do it. And then we carry on. So that's how we close deals, you know, and this is like what I'm going to be building in the course. This is how I made, you know, multi 6 figures as a closer. It's as simple as that, guys. So yeah, I think that's probably going to be quite helpful. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that one, and I will see you on the next one.